I'm the publisher, the owner, sole owner of the Carmel Pine Cone. My name is Paul Miller, and I have a long career in news, including network news, producing packages for the Today Show, Nightly News. I worked a Cronkite show. I like to think I know news when I see it. And I moved up here 30 years ago, and 20 years ago I bought the newspaper from the previous owner, and I just decided to make it good. That's what I've done.
Carmel is a small town. It is stunningly beautiful. It really is. It has so many idiosyncrasies. You need a permit to wear high heels. It has no stoplights. It has no street lights at all. Residents go around with flashlights so they can find their way home. Where else do you go where you don't have house numbers? Like, my address is a direction. Try telling FedEx how to get there. I mean, it is unlike any other place, at least any other place I have ever been.
The Pine Cone is basically the Bible of Carmel. To me, it's one of the, if not the most vital portion of our city. It holds the community together, and they bring the reporting. We might not always like everything that's said one way or the other, but it brings the facts to the table and lets people know what's happening here at City Hall and what's happening in the community as a whole.
I think it's part of the glue that holds the community together, quite honestly. I think we do a great job of reporting. I admire the living daylights out of the other three reporters who do the hard news here, and I think they do a fantastic job. I think we do a good job of keeping our community informed about what's going on in local government. We're one of the few local newspapers left around here that does that.
Only the Pine Cone comes to every single council meeting and every single planning commission meeting. And they come to some of our great events that we have, such as our parade, our 4th of July, our pumpkin roll, our sandcastle contest. They're there. And so it makes it unique, makes it special.
So one of my favorite stories that we did in the last several years, that it wasn't one of my stories specifically, but it was our publisher Paul's interview with Clint Eastwood about the empty chair and his talk at the National Convention. And that ended up getting us some national attention because Paul was the first and, as far as I know, only person to have that interview. And that just resulted because they've known each other a long time and Clint trusts him.
I mean, Paul is he's so hands-on. You know, he's not only the publisher, but he's the editor. And nobody puts in more hours than him. Nobody works harder. And I remember when I joined the paper, you know, like most papers, the publisher was somebody who was off playing golf most of the time. You know, you just didn't see and interact with the publisher of whatever paper you're working for. And so it was kind of startling to see the guy who owns the paper, you know, the first guy in the office every day, writing stories, editing stories, you know, dealing with troubleshooting along the way, and basically being a leader for all of us.
We had a small downturn during the big recession. Other than that, we've had continuous revenue growth since I bought it in '97. Every year we set since 2009, we've set a new record. And so all I do is think about expanding, adding, and spending more money on things that will make the readers interested. You got to spend money to make money. Instead, what a lot of these companies are doing is trying to cut. I mean, their formula for success is to cut. I mean, the newspaper model was a way to become extremely rich. Why did it make the owners rich? Because it made the readers so happy. That's how you make money. Make your customers happy so they want what you're selling. And newspapers evolved the way they did because they made something in the human brain excited and happy. That anybody who doesn't realize that is just not thinking straight. So why did that have to be torn to bits? Well, I say it didn't. To succeed in this business, you have to serve your audience. You got to keep them interested, and you got to keep them feel respected, and you got to make them look forward to your product coming out because they don't want to miss it. And I think that's exactly what we are.
I think our dedication to presenting the whole newspaper in a digital format and in hard copy, as opposed to click here, comment here, grab this piece, grab that piece, is that our product is really cohesive and it serves the reader best when you're looking at it as a whole. And I think it's not distracting. You know, you're aware that you're always reading a newspaper when you look at the Pine Cone. It doesn't look like anything else. It doesn't look like social media. It doesn't look like a chat room. It doesn't look like Facebook or Twitter or anything else.
Same as it does now, exactly the same. As long as there's breath in my body, it will not change.